what you need to do and why you need to do. Hi, I'm Euge Valovirta. This is about project templates for your DAW, recording, mixing, whatnot, to make your life, or at least those makes my life, a lot easier. This is something that you, my dear subscribers and people who watch my videos, have been asking, that what's my take on this and can I show my mixing template or recording template. And so here we go. I used to use Steinberg's AXR40 audio interface for years, but a while ago I switched to Universal Audio's Apollo X8, which I love. And this is what you see here is my EV basic template for everything. So I have 3 channels. These are for guitar microphones because I use real amps and real cabinets. So this is called Fredman. There's 2 SM57s in the Fredman style coming into this. They are summed in the cabinet room with radios, 2-to-1 sub mixer, so I get 1 sound. I use API's preamp. That's my favorite for recording guitars. The second one is V30. That's SM57 and SC Electronics VR1 ribbon mic in front of a Celestion V30 speaker. This is in front of a Marshall vintage speaker, the Fred. They're really close, a little bit different. And then my third, go-to is again 2 mics in front of a Celestion Greenback 25 speaker. SM57 and SC Electronics X1R ribbon mic. I have other mics and other stuff. Then if I feel that I need something else like Greenback or Sennheiser MD421 microphone, whatever, then I just switch. But these 3, my go-to. The 4th unison preamp input is for bass and vocals, and on that I have a Neves preamp and Electronics LA2A compressor. These settings pretty much works with bass and with vocals. I'm tapping it just like a dB or 2 on the way in. And on this channel I have a send to aux1, which is Ampeg SVT3 Pro. I use this for monitoring when I'm playing bass. So because this has 0 latency, or there's something, because these are plugins, but it's so little that even I don't recognize it. So you get a good basic bass sound, but I'm not recording this because I want to leave the option to when I'm mixing. So I'm just monitoring with this. And then when I do vocal sessions here, either my own, I'm not a good singer, but I do a lot of backing vocals. And when I have vocalists here, usually they like to have some kind of room reverb or delay when they're singing, and me too. It just, feels better. So then I'm sending this aux2, and on that I've used these Capital Chambers a lot. It's a Capital Vocal Main preset. I think this was Frank Filipetti's that works pretty much always. So that's the, how I record. And then when I record, I'm muting these so I can listen without 0 latency when I'm tracking guitars or whatever, no matter how much plugin and how much latency in my DAW is. So this is the console for, going in. And then I have 4 basic templates. This one, what you see now, this is my basic mix template number 1. This is when I'm mixing something that has real drums. So my drums are always on the left and they are a light green. Then the the individual drums go to these drum buses, which are always dark green. All these kicks, I don't necessarily use these, but usually when I mix stuff, there's kick in mic, kick out mic, kick sub mic, kick sample either provided to me by the artist or producer, or then if I feel like adding my own. And for the samples, I have here a Steven Slade's trigger ready to go. I have, Empirical Labs distressors ready to go if I feel like using them, and so on. 1176 is for toms ready to go. I'm not, you know, compressing stuff just like immediately, only if I feel so. And my channel strip of choice for drums, I really like the SSL's own 4000B. As you can see here are the individual drum track. It's 4000B. Then the buses has the 9000K, which is a bit cleaner. The buses are mainly for for mixing, literally. So when I get the drum sound here, these are my go-to. These usually, when they say like this, no matter the drums, I'm kind of in the ballpark. And so, you know, all these kicks, they are going to this kick bus, and then I adjust the volume. You know, basically I mix the whole drum kit with 5 faders when I get the basic sounds done. Kick, snare, toms, overheads, rooms. And I mix into certain stuff. I have my mix bus, which we're gonna, you know, that's gonna come. My kick bus, I always have these soft tube that go on. I'm boosting 30 Hz and cutting and 8K, really broad band, kind of smiley face. It works 100%. It makes any kick a little bit more beefier and a little bit more. And so this is always on. Then I'm on the individual channels, I'm EQing into this based on this sound. And I really like the soft tubes British Class A, which is an Eve for kick, but I have also there ready to go 4000B, you know, if I feel like. Cool. Then snare, I always have this on. Soft tubes Summit Audio EQF 100. This is kind of Summit Audio's version of a Pultec. I'm boosting 220, chuck for snare, and 2.2. Again, works 100% with any snare, just make it sound better. Then I'm EQing the snare based on this into this. So what I need to do on the individual stuff. Toms go to tom bus and so on. But all of these, they are set to default. So, because every mix, every program material is different. I don't have any like settings. Obviously, I know certain frequencies because I know these SSL channel strips like my JCM 800s. I know exactly what each knob does. No settings, because to me that just feels kind of stupid. Like with guitar amps, people ask me what are my settings. Like, what do you mean? The settings are whatever sounds the best in any given situation. Like I just reamped the mix I did, the 800. I think I had recorded it. I reamped it. It didn't work for the mix, so I tweaked the knobs. Yeah, now it works. So, you know, ear. It's all about ear. And then my effects. These are the drum effects. These are always after the drums, and my effect tracks are always pink. So I have 6 drum effects, which I use, you know, according to taste. Sometimes all, sometimes just 1 or 2. Parallel compression, Neve, this is Universal Audio's 33609, it's my go-to. In the dual mono setting, it says stereo, but when it's on a stereo track, it's dual mono. When I put this mono, when it's on a stereo track, it's like stereo. Confusing, right? But when it's dual mono, it just makes the drums a little bit wider, in my opinion. Pultec, classic New York style compression trick. Compressor, then Pultec, boosting 30 cycles and 8,000 cycles. Boosting and attenuating. Drum crush, I always have, I don't always use it. That just crushes the drums, and I'm sending to this parallel, I'm sending everything. To the drum crush, I'm sending kick, snare, and toms. There I have a Universal Audio's Empirical Labs Fatso. It's just like, basically what it adds me is this low end woof and sustain. It's, you know, according to taste. On my forthcoming solo album, there's a couple of singles out. I didn't use this. I felt we didn't need. Room, I have a Lexicon 224 as my, you know, drum room. It's basic good room sound. Drum plate is a Lexicon UAD's own pure plate. I used other stuff too, but these have been on my template for some time now. I've used them a lot. Then I have MPX1, which is a hardware here. The preset is a tiled room, and on that tiled room, I'm snaring snare, little bit of usually snare, bottom snare, little bit kick. It depends. So the sensor here, I'm not setting everything to these, depending on the mix. Then I have Lexicon's MPX 500, where I have a gated reverb. You know, if I crank this, the snare will sound like, you know, Springsteen's Born in the USA. Many times I use just a tiny amount. It's a great sounding gated reverb. Those are drums. Then, always, because this is the template, is my bass. Bass is always blue. I have there 3 different tracks, because this is called original bass, so this is usually when I'm mixing stuff that I haven't recorded or played on. I ask always a DI sound and then the sound that the band or the bass player used for recording. And this on this track goes the sound that they used. It's like the bass player's sound. Many times I use that, and then I'm using the DI, which I always ask for. And my go-to settings are for basic Ampex sound is a Bluegrass bass knob, and for a clanky sound is a Softube's Murder 1 Plexi. They go to the bass bus, and I have there 4000B. And then Universal Audio's Fairchild. I don't use this always. It's pretty much tapping. It's mainly sound-wise. It does something to the sound. Then next one, always in red, rhythm guitars and rhythm guitar DIs here. So when I'm mixing stuff, again, that I haven't recorded or produced or played, I add DIs, and many times people just send me DIs because they want me to reamp the guitars with my, you know, Bad Boy 5150. So many times I do that. The DIs go here, but if I always ask, give me the sound also what you recorded, then I can, you know, they go here, I listen, okay, maybe not. Then the DI, and then when I'm reamping, let's say this left one DI, I choose output, PCM70/reamp channel. That's my output, because PCM has only one input, so the left input goes to PCM, the right output goes to my reamp box, reamp station. And then, you know, I can record it to whatever channels. And here I can choose the microphones, whether I use the Friedman style V30, which is the 57 ribbon mic that I just showed you on the Universal Audio console, and so on. J48, that is a DI box also. That box is a combined reamp and DI box. Cool. Then it's lead guitars. They're always in orange. And lead guitar DIs for reamping. And with guitars, I like to use SSL 4000E. I've used many different channels. Lately, I've been really liking the Brainworks. Let me show you this channel strip, because really cool thing is it randomizes the channels. Because, you know, on actual analog disc, none of the channels are exactly the same. If I get 10 Marshall JCM 800s built exactly the same way, the same day, they're gonna not sound the same. That's just the way it is. When there's humans involved, actual physical real parts, there's gonna be small differences. And by randomizing these channels, I have randomized these all, I feel that the sound is just a bit wider and more alive. These I have used a lot. I've used SSL's own 4000E, Universal Audio's, Waves. Lately, my favorite has been the Brainworks one. So guitars, 4000E all the way. And then it's you know, melody guitars. These are bypassed. They're just there. Like, okay, there's melody guitars in the mix. Cool. I'll put them here. If there's like 4, just press this Command D, doubles the channel. Melody guitars DI. Melody guitars are always yellow. Additional guitars are these like a teal, you know, San Jose Sharks. And also, you know, clean guitars, light green. Here, these are like, as you can see, the channels are bypassed, so they're not taking any CPU, and they're hidden. Usually, every mix, you know, you have a rhythm guitars and lead guitars. Then I have the sends to my effects. Cool. Then, vocals. Main vocals are always blue. Vocal tubas, if there's like two different vocalists, they are darker blue. And backing vocals are this purple. And all the vocals go to vocal bus, and I do a lot of processing there, but everything is bypassed, so I don't automatically have everything. I listen everything first, like there's nothing on, and then I decide what I'm gonna use. I have, you know, auto-tune there ready if I feel like using. There's a big, huge spider on my wall. Hi, spider. So yeah, there's a pet. And compressors, vocal riders, different stuff, but it's ready to go if I feel like using. And then the stuff I feel like I don't need to use, it stays, you know, like this, so it's not taking any CPU. Vocal effects are always on the left side of the vocals, pink, and I have 4 vocal effects. I have a parallel compression, that's a tube check channel strip. I'm boosting lows and highs. It's in parallel, so it makes it fatter and brighter, but in parallel. And my favorite parallel compression is this CL1B. Just kind of gives this, and you know, parallel there under kind of. Then I have a vocal slap, always. I don't use it always, sometimes I do. My go-to has been quite some time this Universal Audio's Galaxy Tape Echo. My basic vocal delay, that's GC2290, and I don't set it to session tempo. It's usually around 300, 320. It kind of gives this movement, but it's not synced to the tempo. I like this delay a lot. From the delay, I'm sending to reverb to add reverb to those vocal to add reverb to those delay trails. I really like the combination. There, use a Universal Audio's Lexicon reverb. It's great. Cool, that's vocals. Then I have keyboards here ready to go if the song has those. Vocals are usually 4000B, but I mostly do everything with vocals. This SSL's vocal strip, it has it all. De-esser to get rid of the sibilance, de-closer to get rid of these. Simple EQ, you know, boosting top end, cutting some unneeded, and then a low cut, which is also, it adds a bit of a boost depending where you cut. And these are kind of this, you can hone in where is the whatever, and you know, this is actually 8K is pretty cool, like this. Cool. Let's move it back to default. So everything is default states. I do most of the stuff for focus with this single channel strip. And then I have here last on the right my kind of global effects. I have a Dimension D. I have SPX90, which is hardware there. That's usually set to the symphonic preset. Then I have H3000. This is new, even though I just released an updated version. It's great. Micro pitch shift. I'm sending here guitars, vocals, keyboards, whatever needs to be a little bit widening. PCN70, that's hardware here. That's my main guitar delay, either the pan delays or preset 1.3 called circular delays. But usually I start with the pan delays. D2, that's hardware here. TC Electronics D2, that's my vocal throw / guitar throw delay, and it's kind of ping pong preset, so I can add this movement to stuff. And this Echo Boy, this is my kind of dedicated vocal throw. This is like true stereo, so kind of do 2 throws, ping pong and stereo. I used to use a CLA Epic for years, but now the last 2 or 3 mixes I've done to other clients, I ended up using this Echo Boy. Did my own preset. Has worked fine. Then I have a guitar room. If I need some room, reverb room sound to guitars, this is Universal Audio's Sound City Studios 6. Then everything, you know, these individual tracks, they go to these different buses, and from all buses the signal goes to my mix bus. The effects, they always go straight to the mix bus. And my mix bus, what I have here, this is just for monitoring, so I'm aiming between 12 and 6. If I'm over, I trim this a bit down. If I'm under, I trim this a bit up. So this way, when the mix is, you know, about here, maybe the peaks of 6 are a little bit higher, what comes next works the best. Next comes Chandler's Curve Bender. I'm boosting the evil frequency, 500 1 dB and 20k 1 dB. This is not for EQing mainly, but I really like how the bus compressor that comes next reacts when I give it a little bit more low mid and top. It makes the compressor, to me, punchier. So this was accident when this happened. I didn't realize. I was mixing CYHRA's album, and one of the songs just was a punchier. And I was like, what's going on in there? And then I realized, oh, I had this set up like this. Can't remember why. But then I just put this to all the other songs, and voila, they become punchier too. So I've used this since I mixed the last CYHRA album a year and a half ago. This has been set up like this ever since on all mixes. Then this is the I/O hardware. With Logic you can do this really easily. I can choose whatever my hardware is. It's Fucker, which is SSL Fusion and Tegeler Creme. Then I put the ping, and it didn't change anything because the template is always the same. So it calculates the you know, delay round trip on all. Let's say if I put the ping on no change, because the template is same. Delay compensation is. So there I have SSL Fusion and Tegeler Audio's Creme hardware. That's the main. That's the Creme is a SSL style bus compressor, Pultec style EQ, and SSL Fusion just gives me vintage drive, real transformers, real analog stereo imaging, MS processing, amazing stuff. Then it goes back. I have tape here. I don't use it always, pretty much very rarely. Because the thing is, I know that tape is nowadays like people are, yeah, put tape, everything, but I've noticed that most people that are really excited about tape has never really worked with tape. You know, I started my career in the 90s. We recorded to tape. And it was always like, when you get the guitars out, yeah, everything is like crispy and punchy. And then when you put it to tape, it just sounded like dark and muffled, and all the transients were gone. And I remember when Pro Tools and digital stuff came, I was like, no, it actually sounds the way I hear it, how it's recorded. But you get a sometimes great little bit warmth and stuff. So this is my go-to preset, but it's in parallel. It's only 50%. Sometimes I just, maybe I thought, well, maybe this needs a little tape. Let's put it on, let's see what it does. And it's either yes or no. But that's the only tape sim I have on my entire mix template. The last thing, just to get the red lights off and adding a bit more punch, is a Softube's Wise MM1. It's a mastering maximizer, but it's a limiter. And then these on the stereo out, these are just for measuring. Logic's own multimeter and the Sound ID reference, which I have calibrated my monitors and the room. So that is my mix bus. Hopefully this you get, you know, inspiration and info to yourself. But I think this is why you should have this. If you already don't, those people who has this, then it's when you're recording, you don't need to create. I mean, this takes quite a bit of time to do. all the routing, creating all the bosses and auxes. But then when you do it, it's just like it's there. You have your favorite plugins, hardware, everything set up. Everything becomes a lot faster when you record. And if I'm mixing a MIDI drums, many times bands record MIDI drums played by real drummer or then programmed by real drummer. It looks exactly the same. I just have here on the first in, I have a tune track Superior Drummer 3 and all full bleed, nothing going on in the Superior Drummer. I just use I have a couple of favorite kits, mainly from the Bob Rock pack. They're all natural, all zeroed. So then I get them here. The MIDI drum template is exactly the same. Everything is exactly the same. It's just MIDI drums, multi-outs from Superior Drummer, and that's it. And as I said, I have 4 templates. My third template is a mastering template, where I have my favorite mastering stuff. Mainly it's Isotope, Ozone 11, a couple of others. Basic mix, Superior Drummer 3, mastering. This is voiceover. Sometimes I've done some voiceovers to some commercials. This YouTube SD3, it's like this, but there's no vocal and keyboard tracks, because my YouTube videos are instrumental. This is the guitar sounds template, and this is the template I use for my solo album. So whenever I'm mixing something, let's say I'm mixing a 10-song album for a client, when the first mix is done, the band, the artist has proved, we all think it sounds great. First song usually can take even up to 2 to 3 days to mix. Then when it's done, then I'm gonna save that session as a template and remove all the audio. And then when I'm gonna mix the rest of the songs, I'm already much closer to the sound me and the artist wants to hear. And then usually I mix 1 or 2 songs a day, you know, after the first song is done. So this was my template I used solo album. Here's all the other productions I've done, those templates, I say them. Yeah, the camera stopped filming. But anyways, thank you for, tuning in. Hopefully you get some inspiration, ideas for this video for your own templates, whether you're a recording artist, mixing engineer, or just a beginner. In my opinion, it's really important to have your template with your go-to plugins, your go-to routing, so you're not spending time scratching your head and figuring out stuff. When you do that once, then it's there, and the template is easy to modify, adding new plugins, removing something, trying out stuff. And it makes your workflow faster, because I always know where the drums are, what color they are, where's my effects, what are my effects, where they are. So I'm mixing a lot with these controllers, so it just works. All right, until next time, take care, bye.